explain it further. Yeah. So again, welcome and good afternoon to everyone. The topic for this afternoon, 1 p.m. to 3:30, is leveraging influencer marketing to boost real estate sales in the Philippines. This is a guide for real estate brokers and salespersons for you to learn how to use influencers and maybe become one of the influencers in the real estate as well. Yeah. So why does influencer marketing matters, 'di ba? Why do we need to study this? Why is this important? Because right now we're experiencing a shift to digital. So millennials are slowly dominating, and the new generation, the Gen Z, is emerging. In fact, the real estate market is evolving. We are now seeing the millennials and Gen Z are now changing the environment and how we deal with clients and how we market and how we promote our properties. Traditional marketing methods now have diminishing returns. Consumers trust influencers more than traditional advertising. Social proof, drive sales, yung mga tipong may recommendations or sometimes merong celebrity endorsements, ano. So they take note of the reviews and actual use of the celebrities nowadays, ano. So gone are the days, although nandyan pa rin, wherein meron tayong mga static advertisements wherein you just see it in the billboard, you just see it in the newspapers, wherein ang target nila is bahala na. So whoever will see the ad will see the ad. Whoever will be interested will hopefully be attracted to the advertisement. So kumbaga kung sino na lang makakita, yun na yun. So usually these are playing on the numbers game. So the more people that sees your ad or your flyers or brochures, the more chances of winning. Ika nga, no? Yan. So during this time, trust matters. So that's why we have influencers who promote trust and promote that credibility. So authenticity counts. Uh, Products are now driven by celebrities. So siguro one example I could think of is yung Labubu. Yan. So if you're familiar with the Labubu, yung mga Labubu dolls. So Labubu was actually created sometime 2015. So 2015 pa siya by believe it's a Chinese or a Hong Kong national in Netherlands. So nakaisip siya ng mga fairy tales. Ang history niyan is about elves and monsters. So yun yung initial um, thinking niya and initial development ng mga Labubu. Ayan. So and then it gained the initial recognition, and then sometime in 2019 the owner or the creator collaborated with the Pop Mart. So they are a Chinese company, uh, and then they promoted Labubu as a parang blind box. So you need to buy a box without knowing what's inside, and then collecting whatever the stuffed toy or the character that is inside the box. So hindi naman siya ganun sumikat siya, but it's not as uh, famous as what it is now. So what happened? So around 2019, si Lisa or La Lisa, yan, of Blackpink was seen with the toy na naka-chain do sa kanyang bag, do sa kanyang designer bag. And everybody noticed it. So yung mga fans ng Blackpink, ni Lisa, saw it and treated it as an iconic figure, as something that is a must-have. So since yun yung uso, so everybody started buying and everybody started asking, ano ba yung stuffed toy na yun? So that's how they discovered Labubu, and then nagkaroon ng, because of that sudden demand, nagkaroon ng shortage. So that's why in around 2024, when Lalisa was seen uh, uh, using a Labubu doll sa kanyang bag, it became a global phenomenon, boosting Labubu's popularity and making it a highly sought after collectible. Yan. So, gano'n na nangyari, no? So, with just the endorsement or silent endorsement of a celebrity, naka-attract na ng attention. So, again, if you like Labubu, then good for you. Personally, hindi ko siya type kasi parang hindi ko lang type yung character. Siguro I'm more of a Mickey Mouse fan or a Snoopy or a Garfield siguro, or maybe because of generation ko, yun lang talaga ang bagay sa akin. So more on that, ano, on generations. So another example is itong last election. So everybody was trying to give their own opinions or yung mga survey results of the outcome of the elections. And what happened? 'Di ba? People were surprised ano na si now Senator-elect Bam Aquino was in the number 2 position. So in all surveys, si now Senator-elect Bongo was consistently in the number 1 position. But no one saw the ranking of now Senator Bam Aquino and Senator-elect Kiko Pangilinan landing in the top 12. So they predicted that Senator Bam Aquino and Senator Kiko Pangilinan would land in the lower tier, nasa mga 12, 13, 14, even 15 ano. Yun yung lumalabas sa survey. So yun, even si Senator-elect Marcoleta. So nakita naman nila yung number nila ni Senator Marcoleta is sorry, medyo nasa mga not as expected na ganun kataas. So what happened? 'Di ba? What happened? If you analyze the voting population itong past 2025 midterm, you can see that the voting population is dominated by the millennials. So the baby boomers consisted of around more or less 11.5 million, Gen Xers 15.5, the millennials had that 23 million advantage, and then followed by the Gen Z, 18.3 million. So that's why those who um, made use of social media, particularly mga TikTok, yung mga short videos, maybe benefited dun sa mga votes and awareness of the voting population ng Gen Z and millennials. So yun, ganun na nangyari, and we saw a surprise of candidates na usually palagi nananalo na hindi man lang nag-rank. So I will not mention their names. So I'm sure medyo kilala niyo na kung sino sila. Ayan. So understanding influencer marketing. So influencer marketing involves identifying, engaging, and collaborating with influencers, choosing between micro, macro influencers based on your brand needs. And then key is to understand what works for real estate. So not all celebrities are good for real estate. So merong iba, pang ano lang talaga, pang hamburger lang, or pang food, or pang clothes, or pang some other products. But rarely, kailangan may yung influencer mo or yung celebrity must match yung iyong product. So dapat align siya with the product that you are promoting, especially pag real estate, ano? So maybe sa real estate, again, depende sa market nyo, maybe you could get someone na medyo um, 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 someone that you can look highly to, or parang someone na feeling mo na ay gusto ko maging parang si Heart Evangelista. So ginamit si Heart, sina Bea Alonso or Sharon Cuneta or something na you can look up to and say na kung yung artist na to has this property or land or investment in Batangas or Cavite, then dapat nandun din ako. Parang ganun, ano, ang nangyayari. So, you need to identify who your target market. So, kailangan laser focus din. So, and then after that, you need to determine ano bang gagawin ko. Do I need to have macro influencers, micro influencers, or nano influencers? again, depending on the budget, depending on the content, depending on what your goal and objective is. So right now, meron na tayong mga influencers na medyo, for example, tinatawag natin mga mega influencers, those who have about 1 million and above na followings. So ito yung mga celebrities, yung mga opas, yan, yung mga sina um, Bini, yan, SB19, yung mga uso ngayon, mga Gary Valenciano, those uh, celebrities who can pull in those numbers, ano. And then, like sina Heart Evangelista. Yan. So again, aside from choosing the best influencer, you also need to match it with your product. Kasi kung may disconnect, meaning hindi naman bagay yung product mo doon sa celebrity, baka mamaya instead of promoting the product, medyo negative pa mangyari. And then from Mega, merong Macro. These are influencers na merong around mga 100,000 to about 900,000 followers. And then we have yung mga viral influencers, yung mga micro influencers, yan yung mga maliliit na celebrities, yan, who are concentrated on areas or target markets for purposes of future selling. Yan. And of course, yung pinakamaliit, yung mga nano-influencers. Ito yung mga nasa TikTok. Although, yung iba na nasa TikTok who started off with a small following ended up having a large fan base. Just in case you're curious, yan. So, while it's exactly tricky to give an exact estimate, the following is the list of 2025 fan based on the Philippines, yung parang Philippine settings, starting off nitong 2025. So ito yung parang mga trending top influencers in the Philippines based on reach and their subscribers. So if you're curious to find out, ito na sila. So number 10, Julia Barreto. So an actress with significant Instagram following. Yan. Focusing on fashion and style. Alex Gonzaga, yan, celebrity host. Meron siyang Instagram following of about 12.6 million. By the way, itong mga celebrities, Facebook influencers, these are people who can earn mga 7 digits a month. So ganun kalaki ang income. So that's why you might be wondering, yung ibang mga celebrities or ibang mga artists that will be mentioned here, maybe hindi nyo sila masyado nakikita sa mga movies or mga TV shows, pero very active sila sa kanilang mga channels or pages. Yan. So Kim Chu at number 8. So again, these are only estimates and early trends as of 2025 for influencers in the Philippines. So these numbers can change. Number 7, Marian Rivera. So take note, si Marian Rivera, kahit na medyo quiet na celebrity, hindi masyado yung mga commercials, marami pa rin siya na-attract na followers and marami siyang strong following. Number 6, this one kasi lumabas sa survey, this one is an actor, I believe Thailand or Thailand or Thai, Vietnam or Indonesian yata eh. So nahalo lang siya dito. Maybe gumagawa siya ng commercials or ads targeting the Philippines. So personally, hindi ko siya kilala o hindi ko pa siya nababalitaan eh hindi ko siya nafa-follow. Number 5, Catriona Gray. Number 4, Andrea Brillantes. Number 3, Heart Evangelista. Number 2, Liza Soberano. So si Liza, even if I believe nasa US siya and sometimes nag-visit siya rito, so marami pa rin siyang strong following among Filipinos. And then number 1, yan, Ann Curtis. Yan. So again, you might be wondering, nasan si Vice Ganda? So I don't know. Maybe itong start ng 2025 baka naging busy siya. So konti masyado yung mga videos and postings niya. Yan. So these are some of the estimates. So just in case you're curious. And maybe hopefully one of these days, baka you may want to try out being an influencer. Yan. So again, as with any other marketing, it's important, especially right now in the digital era, to know your market. So mahirap mag-market ng property to a client na hindi mo naman kayang ma-close. So you might be wondering na, sir, meron bang ganun? Sir, kaya ko i-close yan lahat ng client. So maybe before, when the supply was not as much. Kaya lang right now, ang dami ng supply ng condominium units, ang dami ng supply ng housing projects, ang dami ng supply ng agents and brokers and salespersons. So, marami ka ng kalaban, so to speak. So, isipin mo rin, how do I attract the clients that I want, the clients that I can close easily? So again, may kanya-kanya tayong forte. So it's important right now to know your focus, know your strengths. Because sometimes, hindi mo siya mako-close talaga. Ako for example, um, pag yung clients ko, Gen Z, yan, again, no offense sa mga Gen Z, medyo pag Gen Z yung client ko, medyo pass na ako. Yan. Might be wondering, sir, anong pass? Pass meaning hindi ko siya entertainin. Why? Because I know na sa sarili ko, hindi ko siya talaga mako-close. Even if I have 30 years of experience, yung possibility na makaka-close ako ng Gen Z is so low na sayang lang yung oras ko. I'd rather distribute my limited time to clients na I feel personally, again, this is just me, na mako-close ko with a higher probability of say 30%, 35%, 40%. And yung market ko are those belonging dito sa baby boomer section. So, pag baby boomer yung client ko, mas active ako because I know I have a higher chance of closing this client. So, instead of me handling Gen Zs na kahit sabihin niya, sir, sayang din yun. Baka sakali. Yes, baka sakali. Pero, again, I'm playing the percentages. So I'm not playing the numbers game because before we were taught in the real estate market na numbers game lang yan. For every 100 na makausap mo, ayan, 20 will reply to your message. Sa 20 magre-reply sa'yo, uh, 5 makakausap mo. Sa 5 na makakausap mo, tatlo matitripping mo. Sa tatlo matitripping mo, 1 sure yan close. Yan. So, dati ganun, it's all about the numbers game. So, for every 100, closing mo, 1. O, kahit sino pa yun, kahit ilan may basta. So long as you get 100, 1 doon. So, what you need to do, you increase yung number of interactions mo. So, how do you do that? You post sa Facebook, do advertisement, do flyering, maglagay ka ng brochure sa mga kotse, sa parking lot. So, it's all a numbers game. But now, itong time na to, it's more on focus marketing. Kung sa tingin mo, hindi mo naman siya market, maybe, again, maybe you should concentrate more on clients that you have a high probability of closing. So again, using myself as an example, for baby boomers, 50 to 60% ang closing rate ko. Meaning, pag yung client ko is baby boomer, malamang sa malamang either mako-close ko or makukuha ko na referral. Pag Gen X, since I belong also to the Gen X generation, medyo ano na to, 50-50 o 40-50. Yeah, pati sa millennial Gen Z, yan, nagda-drop siya significantly. So again, pag Gen Z, mga 5% siguro ang chances ko. In fact, wala pa ako nako-close sa Gen Z. Sa millennial, siguro nasa mga 20% chance na mako-close ako. So again, for me, what I do, instead of entertaining yung mga clients which I believe na yung chances ko of closing are small, I'd rather devote my time to clients which have a higher percentage of closing. But then again, that's me. But if you like, if you're a broker and you have 20 salespersons under you, then pwede mong entertainin lahat. So again, depende sa inyo yan. Uh, Depende sa kung kakayanin ninyo. Yan. So again, uh, in the digital world, posting is different from marketing. Yung iba kasi, sinasabi lang, digital marketing. Alam ko yung digital marketing yan. Post-post ka sa Facebook, gagawa ka ng Facebook page, mag-boost-boost ka, and that's it. When in fact, hindi siya ganun. So I would associate posting as flyering. So maybe yung iba blind flyering. So ano yung blind flyering? Ito yung parang pumunta ka sa car park, naglagay ka ng flyer ng developer mo sa mga kotse. Bahala na si Batman. Basta maglalagay ako, uubusin ko tong 500 flyers na to, and based on the numbers game, I should get about mga 20. So out of 1,000, I'll get 20 who will reply to my message. Parang ganun. And then do sa 20, hopefully 5 matitripping. Sa 5 matitripping, hopefully 2 mako-close ko. Yan. So, yun ang equivalent ng Facebook posting. For others, what they do, those na natuto na with Facebook marketing, nagta-target na ng market. So, for those of you who are doing Facebook marketing, maybe try this one, ano. So when you do boost posting sa Facebook, 'di ba? Maglalagay diyan, syempre gagawa ka muna ng ad, tapos i-boost mo yung ad, yung ad na 'yon, ano. Once you click on the boost ad or yung boost yung post, Facebook will ask you, 'di ba? Saan mo gustong i-market itong property or tong ad mo na to, whatever that ad is. Saan mo gusto i-market? So, kadalasan, yung ibang mga salespersons or brokers would write there, alam ko na, sa US. Marami kasi mga Pilipino sa US. So, saan sa US? Buong US na. Sa New York, sa California, sa New Jersey, sa Alaska, sa Hawaii. Biglang may isip, nga pala, sa Hong Kong marami. Sige, sa Hong Kong, sa UK, sa France. So lahat-lahat na sinabi, 'di ba? Tapos magkano ang budget? 1,000 pesos. So ano mangyayari doon? Sadly walang mangyayari if you have a budget of 1,000 pesos tapos tina-target mo yung half of the globe, wala talaga. Suwerteng-swerte na, super swerte mo na pag may mag-inquire or mag-like or mag-respond sa Facebook ad mo with that small budget. So usually what I suggest is try to narrow down your audience or yung client or yung scope. Meaning, if you really want to target the US, make it smaller. For example, gawin mo California, make it much more smaller. Gusto mo Los Angeles, make it smaller pa. Kung anong county sa Los Angeles, i-targeting mo yung sobrang specific na clients in those area. The objective, kasi once you do that, merong meter sa left, sa may right-hand side. Depende do sa layout ninyo, no? Sa akin kasi lumalabas sa right-hand side. Lumalabas doon yung number of audience that can be reached using yung parameters na sinet mo. So kasama sa parameters dyan is where are they based? Male or female? So yan, important yun, ha? So try to find out. Mas magaling ka ba mag-close ng male or ng female? Because that also matters. Kasi baka mamaya, ang forte mo pala is closing properties kapag male. So pag female, medyo hindi ka ganun ka effective. Pero pag yung female may asawa, so maybe yun ang forte mo. So try to focus. Location, male or female, age. So that's why yung sa akin, pag ganun, nagsiset ako do sa higher range. Kasi mas comfortable ako doon. Mas sanay ako. Alam ko yung hinihingi. Kasi isipin nyo, baka mamaya pag millennial yan, sabihin sa, I like your project, sir. Can you send me more details? Sure. What's your email address? Baka sabihin ako nung Gen Z, ew, email? Who uses email nowadays? ah, ano mo na lang ako sa IG, i-DM mo ako sa IG. So, anong IG account mo? Yan. So, at usually mga iba kasi mga Gen Z, again, di ko naman nilalahat, ano, medyo mahaba na email address, ano, na ah, tag me nan sa IG, follow me sa IG at the real Juan de la Cruz, Sharon Coneta fan dash ABC apostrophe XYZ, something na gano'n, no? Parang, eh? So, that's why pag gano'n, it's either una akong mainis sa kanya or siya mainis sa akin, di ba? But with yung market ko, for example, yung mga baby boomers, madali lang. Ay, sir, may email kayo. Ay, iho, wala na akong email eh. Paano ba to? Ay, ma'am, no problem, ma'am. Anong address nyo? Papadala ko dyan. So, you need to be ready sa mga ganun, ano? So, may kanya-kanyang quirks din yan. So, baka mamaya yung baby boomer, eh, sabihin sa'yo, eh, i-fax mo na lang. So, may fax machine ka pa ba? Or at least try to accomplish paano ba mag-send ng fax via internet or something to that effect. Or baka sabihin na, pwedeng padala mo na lang dito, pwede ba tayo mag-meet or something, di ba? So, you need to also adapt to your market. Again, kung hindi mo talaga market yan, eh, may iinis ka lang dun. Yan. So, again, secret ko, sabihin niya naman, ay sir, di, sayang yun, di tapon yun. So, tapon sa akin. Pero what I do is, I use my network and refer those clients na sa tingin ko low percentage of me closing. So for example, pag mga Gen Z and millennial, and since right, like for example ngayon, ano, since this is an NREA event or an NREA CPD, so my membership in NREA gives me access to brokers nationwide. So pag ganyan, meron ako for example millennial or Gen Z na talagang, ayan, sinabi ni James, nasama nalagyan niya siya sa hahaha email, iyo. Yan, so pag mga ganun, instead of me throwing it away, so hindi ko siya tinatapon, nire-refer ko siya to a broker whom I trust and who can handle these types of clients. Yung may specialty na yung mga millennials sa Gen Z. So, at least yung nakaka-relate. Yung may tipong may Instagram or may TikTok account. So, sabihin sa inyo, kayo ba may TikTok account? Sabihin nyo naman, sir, yes, meron. Ang tanong eh, ginagamit nyo ba yung TikTok account ninyo? Nagpa-follow ba kayo? Ano ba yung mga latest trends? Baka mamaya ginagawa nyo yung TikTok pang view lang ng mga ads, pang scroll up, di ba? So, again, kanya-kanya. So, again, what I do, since I have a network, I refer itong clients na to doon sa brokers whom I trust and alam ko nagfo-focus doon. At the same time, sila din, nire-refer din sa akin yung mga clients na sa tingin nila, hindi naman nila mako-close. So, wala rin naman talaga siyang tapon. Again, ano, you should try to experiment on those things, ano. So, tech-driven influencer campaigns. Yun na nga, like what we've been discussing, try to identify yung mga clients. Sino ba yung mga clients na kaya kong i-close or yung closable? Nasaan sila? Where are they hiding? Nasaan ba sila? Sila ba yung nagfe-Facebook? Like for example, again, going back to my preferred client na baby boomers, nagfe-Facebook ba sila? Oo, nagfe-Facebook naman, pero hindi tumatambay sa Facebook. Hindi po mag-online sa Facebook, titingin ng news, titingin ng mga post, and then after that, aalis na. So baka mamaya hindi ko makuha yung timing ng Facebook post ko or Facebook ad na eksakto for them to see it. So kailangan mata-timingan mo yan. Bigla ko naisip ng timing, ano, there's also a timing on when to post your ad. Again, depende yan sa client mo. Baka mamaya nagpo-post ka ng ad na post ad now, 'di ba? Ayun pala yung client mo or yung preferred client mo or yung ideal client mo during that time tulog, 'di ba? So tulog pala yung kliyente mo or out on a party, eh mahirap na. Especially if you're targeting clients abroad, you also need to know ano bang oras sa kanila ngayon, ano yung time na available sila, na paggising nila, yun ang una nila makikita. And with that, I would like to recommend, yan, lagay ko na sa chat box, ano, um, I forgot yung ano, complete title na yun, no? You can search for this sa internet, social media report. by Meltwater. Meltwater and we are social. Yan. So social media uh, social media report. Meron pa siya isang word, may something. Pero if you search social media report by Meltwater and We Are Social, pupunta ka sa website nila and they publish social media reports every year. In fact, ang latest nila ngayon is February 2025 report. So use that if you're really into digital marketing, use that report and find out nasan yung client ko. Anong ginagawa nila? Facebook pa rin ba ang uso? TikTok na ba yung uso? Instagram pa rin ba? LinkedIn? Try to check yung mga country specific. Meron silang country specific social media reports to find out. For example, Japan, US, Russia. Yan. So tignan nyo kung nasaan sila. Baka mamaya Facebook post ka ng Facebook post, boost post ka ng Facebook, eh wala palang Facebook doon. Like for example, China. So unless may VPN ka, may kita ka sa China. Otherwise kung wala, hindi ka may kita sa China. If you're promoting to Chinese clients, make sure meron kang WeChat. Baka mamaya i-Viber ka ng Viber, eh may hirapan ka talaga. So that's what I mean by identify your clients, know where they are, know what apps they are using. Otherwise, eh di tayo kayo magkakausap. You cannot tell the client na, oh sir, naka-WeChat ka pala. Sir, wala ka bang Viber? Kasi sir, Viber kami dito eh. Sabi siya, sorry, I don't have a Viber. What's Viber? Yung sir naman, Viber, di nyo alam? Diba? You might be surprised. Viber is predominantly used here in the Philippines or amongst Filipinos and people somewhere in Northeast, South, parang Western Europe, parang mga Luxembourg, yung mga small states lang. So pag ganyan, if you want to do international, at least kahit papano, you need Facebook Messenger, you need WhatsApp. Yan. Ngayon kung Pilipino, yan, pwede siguro Viber. Matatarget mo yan. Otherwise, you need to download other apps. For Japan, it's Line. For Korea, KakaoTalk. So, depende, no? So, again, yung social media report by Meltwater and We Are Social is very crucial para malaman mo ano ba ginagawa ng mga clients sa country na yun. So, next is campaign tracking. Try to find out, effective ba yung ad mo? So, pag hindi effective yung ad mo, try to change the tone. Try to change the color. You might be surprised, yung color makes a difference. So, minsan ginagawa ko, I try it sa blue or I try it sa pink. So, depende. Yan. And then if you have a customer relations management integration with your Facebook account, mas maganda. But if you're doing this alone, baka mahirapan ka. Yan. Again, if you have any questions, just write it down in the chat box. So hopefully I'll be able to see it. Our lecture today is from 1 p.m. to 3:30. We'll have some short breaks every hour. So pagdating ng 2 o'clock, we'll have a short break at 2 o'clock. And then siguro short break again at 3 o'clock. Integrating traditional practices. So you might be wondering, sir, uso pa rin ba yung open house? So, pag ako tatanungin mo, okay lang din naman. Again, depende sa clients na gusto mong makuha. So, usually when you're selling brokerage or yung mga houses from subdivisions, baka mamaya you don't need to even advertise sa Facebook. Baka mamaya yung kapitbahay mismo, yun na yung bibili. So, same din with condominium units, Ask first. Baka mamaya yung kapitbahay, yun ang gustong bumili. More often than not, yung kapitbahay gusto nang bilhin yan, hindi lang alam kung sino may-ari. So, tatimingan pa ba niya na makita yung ad mo sa Facebook? Di ba? Sometimes, maglagay ka lang ng for sale sign, eh okay na yun. Nandun na yun. Again, sometimes people from the north, like Quezon City, will not go farther than Ortigas. So, pag taga Quezon City ka, kadalasan, pag lumagpas na ng Ortigas, malayo na sa'yo. Same din for people sa south, mga Parañaque, Las Piñas. Pag tumawid na ng Makati, malayo na kagad yun. So try to find out nasan ba talaga yung market mo. So again, if you're using Facebook ads or boost post, maybe try to narrow it down. So if your project is in Quezon City, maybe target Quezon City, nearby areas, Project 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or kung Caloocan, City of Caloocan lang, di ba? Baka mamaya you might find people looking for homes in that area lang. So no need to expand so much unless you have that budget. So again, community engagement, yan. Ito pa trick ginagawa ko, no? So sometimes if I have projects na yung specific, like for example sa, ano ba, kunwari sa Parañaque o BF Homes, ano, try to see or try to check, baka merong Viber group ng mga BF Homes residents or BF Homes marketplace or mga Facebook page or Facebook communities about BF Homes. BF Homes na pasabay or whatever, ano, maybe you should join those groups and from there, find out, sino ba yung mga naghahanap ng bahay, sino ba yung ganun. So baka yun lang ang kailangan, ano? So no need to do Facebook ads. So all you need to do is be active in communities and that's it. So again, meron pa ring print advertising, ano? Some people might say na, "Sir, uso pa ba yung print advertising? Uso pa ba yung dyaryo? Sir, wala na nagbabasa ng dyaryo eh." So maybe it's true, but then again, may dyaryo pa rin. So feeling ko naman, pag wala nang nagbabasa ng dyaryo, ba't may dyaryo pa rin? Bakit may ads pa rin? 'Di ba? Maybe you should try placing advertisements sa classified ads ng Sunday. Sabihin niya naman, "Sir naman, ano yun, joke? Sir, lumang-luma na yan, sir. Sir, tignan niyo sir yung mga classified ads ng linggo." 'Di ba? Wala na nag-a-ads. Konting-konti na lang, 5, 4. In fact, sometimes yung one whole page na classified ads, minsan kalahati na lang, eh. Yung isang kalahati doon panay obituary pa, 'di ba? So, you might be surprised, ano? Baka mamaya isipin niyo, yes, konti lang nagbabasa, but just imagine kung ikaw lang ang broker, ikaw lang yung salesperson na pinagtatawanan na nag-a-advertise sa dyaryo, tapos maka-timing ka ng client na hindi naman interested sa advertisement mo, but since nakita niya that you are a broker, you are an accredited salesperson, might be sending you a message na, "Dear sir, madam, I know this is not your forte and your advertisement says that you are selling properties in Parañaque, but I have this property in Quezon City and I want to sell it or I want to know more of properties in Quezon City. Would you happen to have one?" Parang ganun, di ba? So just imagine, ano, classified ads, ikaw lang yung naka-advertise, no choice na sila. Ikaw lang tatawagan kasi ikaw na yung pangalan na nandun eh. So compare that with posting your listing sa Facebook, 'di ba? Na pagka dami-dami, ang dami mong kalaban, 'di ba? Baka hindi na mabasa yan. At the same time, narinig niyo na ba yung tawag ko doon, cyber sulutan? Yan. So, ano cyber sulutan? Minsan kasi isip mo yung sulutan harapan, eh. Ngayon hindi na. Cyber sulutan na. Online sinusulot yung kliyente mo. So how will this happen? So for example, sumali ka sa group, ano, nag-advertise ka ng for sale. Yan. Property in ABC Development Condominium in Pasay, di ba? Biglang eksakto, ang ganda ng pagkaka-add mo, ang ganda ng marketing mo, ang ganda ng pagkakakulay, biglang may nag-post, di ba? "Hi, interested, how much?" Di ba? Kala mo jackpot na. Pag-send mo ng email, "Hi sir, thank you for replying for my ad. Can I get your email address or Viber number and I'll send you details." Sabihin sa'yo, "Who you?" "Sir, ako yung ano." Screenshot ka pa, eh, 'no? "Sir, ito, nag-post ka dito sa ad ko." I'm sorry, may nakausap na ako, eh." 'Di ba? So, how many times did that happen, ano? Kasi nga open yung mga nasa social media. So madaling makita yung name, madaling i-click, madaling sendan ng details na, "Hi sir, I saw that you're interested in ABCD condominium in Pasay. Sir, let me warn you sir. Sir, ang daming complaints sa condominium na yan, sir. Sir, dito ka na sa minamarket namin." So gano'n, ano? Or sabihin, "Ay sir, meron sir akong mas magandang property, mas mura pa." Yan. So again, try to double check. Baka akala mo secured or akala mo sulit yung ginagawa mo, ayun pala nasa cyber sulot ka na. So try to also learn from Philippine developers, ano. So kadalasan yung mga big developers natin use celebrities to endorse their projects. So again, yung depende sa celebrity, yun yung na-attract ng mga clients. So pwede rin gumamit ng mga micro-influencers to promote a project. Kung yung mga project mo is maybe apartment complex lang, yung nasa isang street lang or nearby village, baka hindi mo na kailangan mag-Facebook. Baka door-to-door, pwedeng-pwede na yun, ano? Yan. Because yung pag celebrity endorsement, yes, higher reach, broader audience, pero mas magastos. Kailangan may budget ka pa. Yan. You may also opt for micro-influencers. Baka mami, you might get a better ROI. Ito pala, no? Uh, yung mga restaurants or yung mga bagong tayo na, for example, yung mga buffet, yung mga samgyupsal, unli chicken wings, yung mga, ang tawag doon, yung mga barbecue, burger, or whatever na, yung mga bagong, yung nagsasprout up na mga businesses. So what do? They use mga micro-influencers, yung mga nasa TikTok na, uy, dito ako kumain, napakasarap dito. Bumisita kami dito, sa halagang 199 lang. Only wings, may mga only cheese, may mga ganun. Kaya ikaw, pag napapanood mo, uy, okay to, sarap nito ha. So pupunta ka na doon. Again, depende sa target audience. So for example, katulad nga niyan, kung yung only wings is 199 lang, so iniisip niya, nasaan ba yung mga tao na gustong kumain ng only wings na 199 at masusulit, 'di ba? Do you advertise that sa mga sa mga uh, clubhouse ng Ayala Alabang or Forbes Park or sa sa may San Lorenzo Village or in sa mga Salcedo Park na every Sunday sa Salcedo Park to kung mag-advertise na, hey, come join me with my 199 only wings. Baka sabi sa'yo, ew, 199, kaya kong bumili ng isang buong manok times 5 or whatever, ano. So know your market, know your product, and find that match. So again, define your goals, set clear targets, and then track results. Try to double check yung influencers. Baka mamaya minamarket ka ngayon, next month iba na yung minamarket, 'di ba? Baka malito yung client na, ano ba 'to? Kala ko minamarket niya yung isang project. Next month iba na. Yan. So ready to boost your sales, start planning your influencer marketing campaigns, take advantage of opportunities, yan. Learn and relearn strategies. So sometimes ang kaganda naman sa social media at saka digital marketing is you're allowed to make mistakes. Meaning, if you place an ad and it doesn't work, all you need to do is readjust, change color, change font, change photos. So trial and error siya. So same din when you're doing mga viral posts. You never know kasi when ka magiging viral. All you need to do is experiment and try to find out nasan ba yung audience ko. So maraming mga influencers, ganun na nangyari. They started out with 100 videos and hopefully one of those videos magkiklik. Pag nag-click yun, yun na yun. So parang what happened to Ivana Alawi. So before naglalagay naman siya ibang ads, hindi naman nagki-click. And then there's this one time na ginawa lang niya on a typical morning, naglaba lang siya sa may swimming pool, bigla nag-click. Right there and then, nakita na niya kung sino yung audience niya. Nalaman na niya kung paano na niya ma-monetize yung kanyang pagiging influencer. So, ganun din yun. Ano? Sometimes, what you want is not what your client wants. So, sometimes, dapat willing ka to experiment. Baka mamaya, feeling mo yung market mo is pang high-end, yung pala pang low-end. So vice versa rin. Baka mamaya you're trying to push yourself to sell low-end products, yung pala, pang high-end ka pala. So pag-isipan mo rin. Baka mamaya pinagpipilitan mo yung sarili mo into a project or a product na hindi pala bagay sa'yo. Akala mo lang bagay pero hindi. So same din with real estate. Marami kasi ngayon, nauuso ngayon yung Roland marketing. Kasi nga malaking kitaan, ang daming Roland, maghanap ka ng developer, parang big big business, ano, yun yung uso, no? So I've been seeing left and right na mga lectures, seminars with the famous brokers, famous influencers, famous people na in their own right, talagang magaling talaga. Talagang expertise talaga nila yung Roland. But again, yung Roland marketing is not for everyone. So you may want to experiment it, and if it works, then okay. Pero try to find out, nasaan ka ba talaga? Baka mamaya try ka ng try, biglang hindi pala yun yung market mo. So kailangan may match din yun. Hindi siya basta-basta na since ito yung uso, ito gagawin mo. So sometimes kahit yun yung uso, hindi ka naman bagay, wala din. So itong past ads or itong past slides that you've seen, yan, we're all done by AI. So sometimes kasi sa sobrang busy, yan, gusto mong ipa-AI na lang. So you might be wondering, ay sir, ganun ba yun? Oo, kasi yung mga iba gumagamit lang ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Microsoft, bigla ko nakalimutan. Ano yung sinasabi kay Microsoft? Um, yan, palagay sa chat box. Ano nga pala yung AI ni Microsoft? Um, Maalala ko yan. So, yan, pa-help na lang, palagay na sa chat box kung sino ano, yung AI ni Microsoft. So, of course, meron silang Bing, ano. Yan, so, baka mamaya inisip niyo yung AI is just conversing with yan. So thank you very much, Herbin Perillo. Yan, Microsoft Copilot. Baka kasi most of you would think of AI as parang yun lang, ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Siri, na ask question and it shall be answered. Yan. So AI can now do a lot of things. So itong slides na to, yung mga ganitong format, were all done by AI. So ito yung ginamit kong app. Yan. Gamma.app // create. So all you need to do, para siyang search engine, may blank uh, space where you can write down ano bang gusto mo. So it will ask you, what do you want to create today? So may option doon, click PowerPoint. What's the topic? Dahil ko yung topic, leveraging AI for real estate brokers and marketing. Tatanong sa iyo, ilang slides ang gusto mo? Sabi ko, mga 10 para at least pag-isipan ko kung okay or hindi. Anong color ang gusto mo? Classic, cartoon, serious? Anong tone? Gusto mo bang professional? Good for fifth graders? Anong format? Yan. So, lalagay ka lang doon and after uh, placing yung mga kailangan mo, yung mga parameters, just press enter and after mga 5 minutes, sorry, hindi lang 5 minutes para sorry, 2 minutes, yan, lalabas na yung outline and it will ask you, is the outline okay for you? Once it's okay, pwede mo na i-approve. If not, pwede mo na naman siyang i-edit. Kung sa tingin mo pwede na to, yan, click enter and then in another 5 minutes, yeah, madi-develop na yung PowerPoint. So all you need to do, like what I did, download ko yung PowerPoint and then inedit-edit ko. So inedit ko, ito pwede itong lecture, ito parang hindi. So medyo kasi meron ng idea kung paano gagawin itong lecture na to. So, nung lumabas na yung PowerPoint presentation, in-adjust ko na lang din. So, same din with your marketing technique. So, again, if you know your client, you know your focus, you know lahat, you can ask AI or ChatGPT. I want to market uh, Columbaris in Caloocan City. Can you uh, give suggestions on hashtags and how to promote this to women age 45 to 55 living in Bagong Silang, Caloocan who are fond of basketball and volleyball, who are working in Makati, parang ganun. So, kukumpletuhin mo yan. So, once you click on enter with ChatGPT, lalabas na yung text that you should be using. Pati yung mga hashtag siya na magsasabi. So, kahit papano, half of your work is done. Now, if you're also doing Canva, pwede mo rin siyang i-input sa Canva, may instant ano ka na, flyer, brochure, Instagram post, Facebook ad. So instant na lahat 'yan. So lahat 'yan AI powered na. Again, yes madali, yes maganda results, but if yung purpose mo is wrong, wala rin. Baka mamaya sobrang ganda ng ad, sobrang makapag-appreciate, tapos pag nag-click, hindi ka naman available. Baka mamaya ano ba 'to, ang dami nagpo-post, ang hirap sagutin, bukas ko na lang sasagutin 'to, antok na ako, anong oras na, 'di ba? Again, baka hindi niyo pa alam ano, ang minimum response time for messages sa social media is, 'yan baka magulat kayo 'no, 2 hours. 'Pag within 2 hours hindi ka makapag-reply do'n sa message, bye-bye ka na, huyo ka na. 'Di ba, "Sir, 2 hours." Oo, 2 hours kasi very impatient ng mga tao. Subukan niyo nga kayo, 'di ba? Meron kayong ad sa Facebook, kinlick niyo, "Uy, interested." 'Di ba? "Interested ako sa item na 'yan." 'Di ba mag-aantay ka, ano ba 'yan, tagal-tagal. After 2 hours 'di ka na interested. Nawala na yung interest mo kasi nakahanap ka na ng iba na mas mabilis mag-reply sa'yo na, "Eto magkano cellphone? How much?" Ang tagal, biglang nakita ka ng ibang cellphone, "Uy, mas maganda 'to. How much?" Sabihin sa'yo, "Eto lang siya, 10K. If you buy it now." "Ay, okay, sige, buy ko na yun ngayon." 'Di ba? By the time yung original poster nung ad na kinlick mo mag-reply sa'yo, "Ay sir, sorry, I was sleeping, I was busy. Sir, ito yung ano, details ng condominium ng cellphone." Wala na, "Ay sorry, nakabili na ako." Yan. So again, if you want to be active in social media, 2 hours ang window. Beyond 2 hours, good luck na. Sana hindi pa nakahanap yung kliyente mo. Ganun kabilis na ngayon. Yan. So time check, 2 o'clock. We'll just have a short 5-minute break. I'll be using a timer para kahit papaano